Today I'm going to share with you my updated summer makeup look. And the best part is you can create a look with products that you probably already have. So take a second, dig in your drawers. Nope, dig out makeup from your makeup drawer and let's do this fun, easy look together because there's products here that you probably have something similar that will give you a very similar result. This video is for everyone, but for those of us with more mature skin, yes, I am 55. My name's Jodi if we haven't met before. Hi. Think of me as your midlife beauty bestie, where we're gonna get ready together. Remember the days when you would get ready with your friends, how much fun that was? Let's do that together in the world of 2025 virtually. We can still have fun, we can still do it through the screen, and that's what I intend to do today. I have sunscreen on my face, and the first thing I'm gonna do after that has penetrated for about 10 minutes is I'm gonna just use this Casa setting spray. Any setting spray that you have that does not contain alcohol is a good way to freshen up or moisture or hydrate your face before you go and start to apply any makeup products. Now, I was looking in the mirror and realized that I have some discoloration this morning, so I'm gonna start with just a little bit of concealer to spot conceal because this is not a full glam look. Right, Jodi, you always say that. But today I'm gonna hold true to it. I'm going to hold to a no makeup look. But again, if you have a little discoloration or maybe you've got some spots that you wanna cover up, whatever that may be for you, just take a little bit of concealer. I'm taking the A506 brush and I'm just gonna dab that really lightly on the inner corners of my nose with some concealer. I'm using the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I wear it in 1N. I've really loved this concealer, you guys. If you've got a concealer that you love, use that. This is a little thicker of a concealer. Just gonna conceal a little bit where, again, I have some discoloration on my eyelids because I want those to be pretty neutral for this look because we are not going to use a foundation per se. We just wanna make sure that our canvas from forehead to chin, cheek to cheek, and everything in between is somewhat neutralized, and you can do that by just spot treating any areas with your concealer. And somewhere along the way, I got a little red spot on my nose. I don't know where that happened, but we're just gonna cover that up just a little bit. Again, I just want any obvious red spots to not show through, but I'm not going for a full glam. Put the brush down. Next, just pick up your moisturizer, whatever you use for day. This is the CeraVe Skin Renewing Night Cream. I'm just gonna put a little bit of that in my hand. If you've got a metal mixing plate or a glass mixing plate, this is a great place to do that. I just don't have those, so I'm going to just put it in the palm of my hand. I've got that much moisturizer, you guys. Next, I'm gonna add some bronzing drops. Now, you can use the ones from Drunken Elephant. e.l.f. has come out with some. You could also use the L'Oreal Glotion if you have that. I just saw this trick last week with a live stream that I was doing with Glam Girl Gabby. If you guys did not see that, I will link it down below in the description box. She's fantastic, and she had some really good tips to get a good summer makeup look with products that you probably already have. We did it together, and she had some great ideas. One was this, where she mixed her bronzing drops with her moisturizer, and I like to mix almost 50-50 between your glow drops and your moisturizer. And again, just it's so beautiful. I've been doing this on my chest lately, on my arms, on the back of my hands. Anything that's gonna be showing is really where I have been doing this combo because it just gives the nicest glowy, you know, ever see those women at the store or we're out and about somewhere and it doesn't look like they have any makeup on, but their skin is so shiny, but from a healthy perspective, not a artificial shine. I love that look, and I always want to ask them what is their skincare regimen, and I have been known to do that from time to time, but it's always so pretty to me, so that's kind of what we wanted to duplicate. I'm already loving how natural this is looking. And I take whatever's left and put it on the back of my hands, of course. Well, I don't want to waste anything. After you've put on your bronzing drops with your moisturizer, depending on how thick your moisturizer is, you might just want to go back in with a brush and sort of tap that around just to soften or blend out any lines. Again, it would really depend on how thick your moisturizer is, but you just want to spread it around so that it is evenly distributed all over your face. Next, I'm going to take the Laura Geller. This is the Baked Balance and Glow. I have it in shade medium. I'm going to go back to that fluffy brush. This is BK Beauty's 106 brush, and I'm just going to get a little bit of powder on that brush because I sort of want to go where you would bronze, which is in somewhat of a figure 8 up around the forehead. I'm really not trying to contour anything. I'm just trying to add a little bit of glow, but I don't want it everywhere, and I want a light amount, again, because this is powder. I have loved this formula, you guys, because it is so finely milled. I know I did a tutorial on this not too long ago, and many of you really, really love this. The marble between the highlighter and the bronze gives a nice glow to the skin without covering up or dulling what we just did with that moisturizer bronze drop mix. So I just love that look. It looks very, this is my skin look, doesn't it? All right, now we're gonna jump up to the eyebrows. I'm gonna save the cheeks and lips for last because I have one product that I've been using that I absolutely love for both of those, and it really just pulls a summer look together. Now I'm gonna do my eyebrows, and I'm using the Fake Brow by L'Oreal. I've shared this one with you guys multiple times. It leaves individual fake hair marks, so it looks as though your eyebrows are just full. The other thing I love about this is you can create a fuller brow without having a solid brow. And for summer, that's really important. I think in fall and winter, I like a thicker brow. Well, who am I kidding? I like a thick brow all the time. But in summer, for a look like this, I like to see my skin through the brow hairs, or fake brow hairs, if you will, because I just feel like that gives a more youthful look to the brow. And you have to get sort of close to the mirror for this one. But for those of us that are getting older, closer to the mirror is our friend, because farther back for me, I just miss some details. And then when I do the tail, I just turn it a little bit to the side and just slowly pull it down. Now you can also do the double on this end. It's just not as easy for me, and I don't think it looks as natural. Now if you don't have this, don't worry. You might have a felt tip eyeliner that's a brown. If you do, you can do individual hair strokes with that. You can also use a powdered eyeshadow depending on what color you want. So create your brows with what you already have. For the eyelids, I'm using NARS Living Sin eyeshadow stick. It's just a nice, soft, natural brown. I don't want a lot of color. I just want to define my lashes a little bit. So I'm going right on my eyelid at that lash line. And I'm going to go about 2/3 of the way in and then just lightly smudge it. If you have hooded eyes, this is great for you. You can go on the eyelid, and then you can go above the eyelid on this part up here to give you a little bit more dimension. You could also just use this right in your crease to create an artificial crease if you'd like. Again, this is in Living Sin, but any cream eyeshadow will do. I just like a little soft brown to give that summer bronze look on top of this glow. I think if you were to wear colors that are too bright on top of a complexion that is more natural and glowing, you might miss the summer glow look that you're going for. So you have to think about pulling the eye shade colors, the lip colors, the cheek colors, and the complexion colors, all sort of like a color story to give the summer look that you're going for. It's very similar to if you're designing a bathroom and you want a nautical look. You really pull together not only the wallpaper, but the different colors of the towels and the rugs, the accessories that you might have on the wall. It all needs to speak of a nautical look for it to all pull together. The same is true for your makeup look if you're going for a themed look. And that's what we're doing with this. This is a summer glow themed look. I just wanted a little more. See, here we go. We're on our way to glam. Put that down, Jodi. All right, the next thing that we're gonna do is add a little bit of mascara, and I picked up a brow mascara finally because you guys kept telling me that I needed to try this Lash Paradise by L'Oreal, and I needed brown, so that's the one that we grabbed. I am going to curl my lashes just really quick because they need a little bit of they need to say I'm awake. If you guys followed my video on the Lash Lift and Tint, before I put mascara on, it's important to see this. Today is officially 5 weeks. These are supposed to last 6 weeks. And this one's lasted great. This one is gone, and I'm not sure why. Now, I do wash my face with coconut oil, and she told me that when you do that, you are gonna break down the dye on the eyelashes much faster. So I fully expected that, and I have done that to myself. So if you are looking for a good alternative to mascara for 5 to 6 weeks, the Lash Lift and Tint, I would do it again for a special occasion or like a weeks-long vacation. I would do it if I wanted nice lashes that I didn't want to have to mess with for a couple weeks. But I don't think I've gotten 6 weeks out of them. And again, for some reason, this is just still there and this side is not. But I wanted to give you guys a follow-up in case it's something that you were interested in. I could probably get 6 weeks if I would have not used coconut oil, but that's just not an option for me when it comes to washing my face. I think a brown mascara, if you can use a brown on a summer glow makeup look, just looks nicer. It's less harsh on our more mature skin. I have found that the only time I really want to wear black eyeliner or black mascara is on days where I want a more glam wow look. But an everyday sort of no makeup natural glow look, I find that browns work better. So I really do like this Lash Paradise that you guys suggested, so thank you for that. Follow up to my testing of the Colossal Bubble. I'm not a fan. I shared with you guys I was going to try it and I wanted to try it a few more times before I really said I loved it. I'm not a fan because I do feel like towards the end of the day, I got a little bit of darkness underneath this area. And if you suffer from hollowness under your eyes like I do, as we've aged and lost collagen in there, there's already a shadow there. Then if you have any transfer from mascara, it just gives this area a darker shadow look and it just emphasized, I felt, that hollowness. So Maybelline Colossal Bubble was not good for me. Now this is not the waterproof one, so in fairness, maybe the waterproof one wouldn't transfer, but I do think that the Firework by Maybelline mascara is really, really good and I would use it instead of this one. Now I'm going to use this on my lower lashes. You could use a eyeshadow stick if you want. I just like this summer look to not have a bunch of extra shadow or shade or colors around my eyes. All right, you guys, now to finish this look, I am going to use the Milk Jelly Lip and Cheek Tint. I have loved this. I have it in color Fresh. Now, I did go to Sephora and test the other shades. There is one that mixes with your own pH balance so that it gives you your own unique look. I kept putting it on the back of my hand because it was Sephora and I wasn't gonna put it on my lips under no circumstances because it was a test sample. And on the back of my hand, I didn't get any color at all. So I'm like, well, I don't think I wanna buy that if it's not gonna give me anything. And I'm sure it gives you something, I just couldn't get it to work. I like this one by Fresh. I'm glad I got this, although it's not normally the shade I would grab because it does look so bright. It is a jello texture. It's very funny to play with, but I've loved it because all I do is I take a little bit, I put it on the center of my lip, and I don't use a lip liner with this. I literally just rub it on my lip. Look at that really natural enhanced color to my lip. Then I grab a little bit more and I just watch how good this works on the cheek. And this is a stain. I'll have this on my hand most of the day because it stains, but in the nicest way. And my lips and cheeks will stay like this, you guys, all day. But doesn't that color just scream? It almost screams spring more than summer to me. But I love that look and it sits really nicely on top of the products that we already put. Now, that's done. I'm just gonna go back and freshen up everything with my setting spray because why not? It doesn't contain alcohol. And I think it just helps settle into the powder that we put on, that Laura Geller powder, and just melts everything together. So that is the final look. You could go back and add a little more concealer. I really want to because I feel like I need it right through here, but I'm going to put down all of the products, live like this because this is me. I have darker circles under my eyes some days and there's a little bit of hollowness there, but this is my everyday fun summer glow. I'm just out and about spending time with family, and that took less than 10 minutes if I would have just been quiet. But what fun would that be if we can't get ready together? Well, you can create this look with products that you probably already have. If there's a couple that you want to know more about or pick them up, I'll link them all down below. So shop your own stash because you probably have products that are very similar to these that you can use to create this look. Besides, we know that fall launches they're about to start coming out, and something about those fall eyeshadow colors, lip colors, and cheek colors, they get me every time. Be sure to check out the live stream that I did with Glam Girl Gabby. I'll put it right down below. And if you're interested in more makeup tutorials for our more mature skin, here's another one of my favorites.